Hey everyone, RogueGold here, welcome back to the Division 2, and today TU23.1, or as the devs are now calling it by its season name, Year 6 Season 3.1, is releasing tomorrow. Basically, this is just the first post-launch patch of the latest season, addressing many of the bugs and other issues that have arisen since the latest major update's launch, and there's some good stuff in here. We are seeing them fixing the XP distribution for Season Pass activities like Conflict and Countdown. They are fixing the issue where the Frenzy hostile modifier is making many enemies within the game very hard to kill right now. And there's some long-standing stuff like the fact that True Sun's bounties always go to Constitution Hall. I believe that's been in the game since launch. They're fixing that here. So there's a lot of good stuff. We're going to get right to it. If you want to stay up to date on the latest with the Division 2 moving forward, then I hope you will consider clicking that subscribe button if you're not already. And without further ado, let's go. Alright, so here we are. You can see that tomorrow, Tuesday, March 18th, 2025, not 4, we are getting Year 6 Season 3.1. There will be a maintenance to deploy this update. The servers will go down at the usual times for an estimated duration of 3 hours. But let's get right to the patch notes, shall we? So, it says Year 6 Season 3.1, patch notes. Modifiers is the first category here. They fixed an issue with the NPCs having the Frenzy hostile modifier either not spawning or the modifier deactivating immediately upon spawn. Here's one of those big ones I was talking about where they fixed the issue with certain enemies and objects becoming difficult to destroy due to the Frenzy modifier. This is the full list of units included, which is pretty extensive. We have the Black Tusk mini tanks, Warhounds, quadcopters, Hyena engineer turrets, RC cars, True Sun's engineer turrets, Black Tusk healing stations and drones, Cleaner engineer turrets, Hunter and Rogue skills, and destructible obstacles like doors. So this is great. They don't specifically list how they're making them more killable. Are they just not allowing these enemies to get the Frenzy modifier? Are they going to make it less potent on those enemies? We don't know, but that is definitely something that I look forward to testing out tomorrow. Alright, a few other ones here. They then fixed the issue with the overclocked projector passive mod. The range was incorrectly set to 40 meters instead of 20, so that one is getting a bit of a nerf. There was an issue with the Tactical Supremacy active modifier being able to infinitely, be continued, even though it's supposed to have a limit of 25 seconds if you continued landing headshot kills. They fixed the issue where Vendetta and Blacklist marks were able to be applied to destructible objects. This one I'm a little bit confused by. It says fix the issue with the Microwave Coils passive mod description not mentioning the chance to burn enemies. It already does say that. Maybe they mean they're adding in an actual percentage chance. I don't fully know. Either way, that has been fixed up. They fixed the issue with the all text being incorrectly displayed under equipped passive modifiers when inspecting the modifier tab. And there was an issue in certain subcategories where active mods were being labeled as passive ones. So that is everything for modifiers. Let's now move on to the seasonal journey. They fixed the issue where progress towards current journey objectives would first be applied to incomplete objectives from prior missions before counting towards the active one. I know this is one that I got a lot of reports on where people were getting like the eliminate blacklisted enemies one and it was only counting towards the earlier mission and not the later one. Hopefully it should now just count for all of them at once. They fixed the issue with the misleading description for the third objective in Journey Mission 7. I don't fully know what that is because I'm not looking at the game right now, but that's going to be fixed. There was an issue where the restore 100,000 armor via critical recovery objective did not track progress correctly, and they fixed the issue with uncompleted journey missions appearing as available when selecting a completed journey. Alright, moving on to scouts, we just have one change here, and this is the one that they announced earlier on in the week. We covered it in a prior video, but they changed Objective 2 of Scout 3, the requirement on there from the Black Tusk to Hyena enemies to facilitate the chances of correct enemies spawning in the required named zone. This is because I believe it was in Downtown East. There's a lack of Black Tusk activities, so you should be able to now do that pretty easily with hyenas. Similarly, we have one change here under Legacy Manhunt with the Year 6 Season 2 Climax mission. There was an issue where some NPCs would lose aggro when players returned to the room with the lever after starting the boss fight during the Space Admin HQ mission. So I believe this was the kind of cheese strategy in the final room where you could just basically bypass the entire Bichon fight. You should now have to go into the room, or at the very least, if you exit it, they will still target you. Moving on, we have a few things under UI here. They fixed an issue with not getting the first perk after the tutorial. There was an issue with the events timeline only displaying global events. Some pretty important ones here regarding purchases and bundles within the store. The bargain bundle having the placeholder picture in the store has been fixed. I believe this is the one where it was incorrectly advertising that you would get the night vision goggles when you in fact don't. And they fixed the issue where selecting the buy season pass bundle option from the season pass would redirect players to the bargain bundle instead of the intended burden of truth bundle had it not been purchased. They updated the icons and descriptions of the Shepherd XP event and the 5x XP event, and they fixed an issue with multiple skill-related passive modifiers not having their skill text highlighted. Alright, under Vanity as usual, there's a bunch of stuff here. The Celebration, the new Grant backpack that we looked at in the video was not displaying the character's level properly. That's now fixed. The new crime bundle that's in the store, the vest was kind of hovering. That's been fixed. It was also clipping with multiple scarves, masks, and backpacks. The new Shiny Monkey brand set items were appearing stretched over character models. That should be fixed up. Shadebrick misplaced the 8-bits hard backpack and hoodie clipping. All this stuff has been fixed up. Alright, and then finally we get down to Other, where we have the last few pretty important ones here. Firstly, they fixed the issue with Season Pass XP and Conflict XP events not granting extra XP if the player had reached level 100 in the Season Pass or Conflict, but had not completed the event. By the way, is this a little tease here that we're going to get a Conflict XP event? That'll be pretty sick. They also fixed an issue with Darkstone supply drops not granting Season Pass XP. Also, bounties not granting it. I thought that was just excluded from the system, but that's cool that that's getting fixed up. And here it is, fixed the issue with True Sun's bounties from LWS, which I still don't know what that acronym stands for, but it means open world activities, right? Anything that's not in a mission or the Darkstone, just out in the open world. Anyway, when you get a True Sun's bounty, it will no longer only spawn in Constitutional Hall, at least they are claiming. Like I said, this one has been around for a year, so that's pretty cool to see fixed. It'll be fun to do True Sun's bounties in other areas, so there you go. Finally, they fixed an issue with all player categories being labeled as clan in the countdown and raid social menus, and they fixed multiple issues affecting audio, added multiple localization files, and added stability improvements. But there you have it, my friends. That is going to do it for our list of fixes and changes coming with Year 6 Season 3.1. As we said, it is on the way to the game tomorrow, so get ready. That is my full coverage and breakdown of these latest patch notes, my friends. I hope you're looking forward to some of the stuff that is coming with this update, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it overall. What are your kind of most anticipated changes? Is there anything still outstanding, either with the latest season or just the game in general, that you want the devs to address? As always, let me know all your thoughts down below. Very curious to read through them. That's going to do it for me today. I'll see you in game tomorrow for Year 6 Season 3.1. Until then, folks, RogueGold. Ow.